All right, well, hello everybody, and welcome back to another, Roblox Studio Dev stream. We'll add some commentary, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll look to do like a Twitch stream or something, maybe once a week. Somebody was asking about commentary, comments and stuff. And maybe what I'll do is I'll allow you guys to ask questions or whatever. I can answer questions, scripting support, all that stuff. We can do that, no problem. It'd be on a weekend, we'll pick a day. Sunday morning or Saturday morning or something. You don't want it to interfere with church or anything like that. So we want kids, if you're younger and maybe you want to make it any time that's available. I suppose you can always watch it later, but if you want to get help, we'll try and make it available. Anyhow, it's been a few days since we put out a video. What have I been up to, or what have we been up to? Not much. Honestly, opening up scripts, editing a couple lines of code, closing the script, testing and testing and testing. That's it. Blue Truck City went through it. There's like 7,000 scripts in that game. Went through every single one. Tried to make the code efficient. The game is large. It's as large as it's going to get. So, the thing about Roblox is it's meant for small to medium-sized games. And it's meant for interaction. It's not really meant for like lots of infrastructure and that kind of stuff, right? So when it comes to vehicles, unfortunately, vehicles are fast. So you need the infrastructure because they can cover the distance, right? So what I'm trying to do is the best of both worlds. Essentially, trying to make a game that has a vast amount of interaction and at the same time has a little bit of infrastructure so you can drive around but you don't get bored. I know some games you get bored when there's only a couple of streets and you drive around and around and around, and after 10 to 20 minutes you're like, man, I'm getting bored. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to add interaction. So the other thing that I've been up to is scripting support for console players. I assumed that when you publish your game and you click console, there's input support for console players. That is not the case. You physically have to script the support into the game. So I apologize for the console players if you're limited to buttons. And that's just the way that Roblox processes the buttons is when there's a screen available, the input goes to that screen. Right, so like I have a hotkey Y for donate, for example. So if you're inside a vehicle and you press Y, the donate button will come down. It overrides any other functions. So you have to be careful. It limits you to the amount of buttons that you can use. So what I had to do was merge many controls or functions into a single button. So if it doesn't quite work the way you think it should, that's why I try to get the best gameplay. So anyhow, in lieu of that, what we also have to do was change the way that vehicles spawn, because now we need to hardwire a button for the console players. So when they log into the game, they can say, hey, you know what? There's a screen in front of me, but everybody else can close the screen, but I can't because there's no button on my controller. Right? So in Blue Trucking City, we put out the disclaimer there that you need to have like a mouse and a keyboard because there's no way you can script that many functions. Some of those trucks, the cranes, there's like 20 buttons. You can't script that in your controller. You could, but it would just be, it would melt my brain. Yeah. So what I've been able to do and what I'm going to show you all today after I've been gabbing is interaction. So what we want to do is, I know at Blue Trucking City we introduced a pass system and we're currently changing the pass system. The way it was, we didn't finish the code actually. So it doesn't do anything. When you buy the pass, it doesn't do anything. It recognizes that you bought the pass and that's fine. But it was supposed to clone the pass into your inventory. So that's the part that we're working on now. A few people have bought them, and I don't know if they actually received them or not. So what I'm trying to do is figure out how to clone the pass into their inventory, because it does recognize that you have purchased it. It does. Don't worry, even though you may not physically have it. So after discovering all that, what we've done is found a way to charge the player cash in the game for a tool in the game. I know it sounds really simple, right? And it is kind of simple, but it's complicated at the same time. And what we're going to do is we're going to use these spawners. All right. So there's two options. You can introduce the game passes, where someone can go to the Roblox website. They can purchase the game pass on the website. Then they log into your game. And in a folder, you have the game pass, and it's supposed to clone the game pass into their folder. That function isn't working for us right now. I'm not too sure why. It's a little complicated. The other way to do it is people have to use the game money to acquire the passes, either by buying the passes with the game money or by completing quests to obtain the pass. And it'll save to their inventory. And I think that's what we're going to do here is we're going to make a quest that you complete, or a job, and the reward for that job is going to be a key. All right, it's going to give you access to more missions, and essentially what we're doing is we're developing a gameplay loop, as you call it, right? Because now people join the game and they say they're able to spawn a car, they're able to drive around and make money. Okay, they're able to spend money a little bit, but the game is totally open. And I feel that maybe that's a little too... We need to restrict it a little bit, give players a chance to play through the game, okay? Because that's the point of playing the game, right? You want to play through the game and you want to develop. So in order to do that, we had to create a couple of... I'll put out a video on data stores, okay? When you create leader stats, a leaderboard, right? What you do is you create a folder with an instant value, and you call it cash or money or whatever you want to call it, currency, XP, and then what you do is you create a data store for that specific value that you can call, and it will save and you can call upon, right? Sync to it, which is what we've done here. Every transaction, it saves to your leader stats, and that's how we do it, through the data store. Every transaction connects to the data store. It goes through a P call to make sure the transaction is successful. If it is, it saves. If it's not, it doesn't. So we essentially do the same thing for the inventory. Whatever here, inventory save. So I have this. It's complicated. We'll go over it. It's 2 pages. It's complicated. First page creates a data store. Key is client, and essentially what that does is that creates a folder, right, that calls the information from... I don't actually have the search storage. Tools. So anything you put in tools, anything you let's see, how can I explain this? Anything the player accesses from this folder into their inventory will save through this system. All right. So what we're going to do is the only way for them to do that is for that they have to press a button on a UI. Okay. It's hard to connect. You could connect your leader stats transaction to the UI, but it's kind of complicated because then if you want to do the P call, you have to do a little more scripting. So what I do is they use a prompt, and then they use the UI. And that way you do one transaction and then another transaction. And you're guaranteeing that the values are saving to your server, to your game. And then if there's a problem, right? If there's a problem, it won't save either, which is also good. Just prevents manipulation and all that kind of good stuff. All right, so now that I got that huge spiel out of the way, I was kind of thinking the new restaurant that we put in, the burger joint. What I'd like to do with the burger joint. is because the idea of the game is delivery industry. Right now you're kind of starting here in the bus station, and yeah, you basically have free range, right? So I'm just trying to figure out what a good starting play loop would be. You could spawn the truck here by accessing this one, the box truck, right? So now I'm going to take this one here, and what I want to do is I want to say, okay, let's make it cost money to spawn this box truck. So what we'll do is where is it? I don't want to put it in the wrong spot, that's all. Alright, so after this end. Okay, so what we want to do is we can if you've created a leader stats, which we will go over, if your game is where it is now, you should have created a leader stats. So first what we need to do is we need to connect this to the data store. All right, quite simple. Local data store service, get service my data store. And then my data store is just the variable that we're going to use. Okay, and then we also want local amount, and then that'll be, say, minus 100. So for now, it's going to cost $100 to spawn the truck. And then what we want to do is we want to save it. So we need to take the rest of this. We just need this part of it. Oh, then we need cash. Clear.leader stats. That's the cash.value equals data, is that right? No. It should say if success, then data equals data. Just like that, and then it should say let's see, transaction approved, and that'll just print it here. So if you're in the game and you're wondering if it goes through and you're looking at the developer console, you'll see that it prints that in there. I don't save the output. I probably could, but it could be massive. So let's see, and that's it. So this is our local data. This is our pcall function, success, error message, right? And then what it'll do is it's going to sync to the data store under this variable cache, and what it's going to sync is this amount here. So now what we need to do is we need to approve the amount. Oh, you know what? Actually, this here. My apologies. What is that? Needs to go here. There we go. Let's say. plus equals is the way to write that. Player.leaderStats.cash.value. All right, so I believe that is it. The script looks good. No errors in it. All right, so now we're gonna test it out. It should cost. Seeing how we're doing a test, it should cost us $1,000 to activate. Once you activate the prompt, it'll take $1,000. We'll have to do the bus too once this works. So we have 484,000. Cash is not a valid number. See, I spelled cash with a lowercase c. It gave me an error. I need to spell it with an uppercase. All right, so as I was saying, your game will get to a certain point where you see right now I can edit scripts and it will automatically apply the edits. It'll get to a point where it's so large, it won't be able to automatically apply edits anymore. And that's when you want to start looking into maybe making module scripts or combining functions. Just reducing the amount of scripts that you have. There we go. Transaction approved. Cost me 483,000. It says got saved inventory. Oh, that was when I loaded in the inventory, right? So then when there we go. So it cost me $1,000 to get that. So then what we need to do is we want to edit the proximity prompt, and it will say cost. Let's see, right? 1,000. Then what you do is when so now people are probably going to be thinking, well, I want people to spend Robux in the game because I want to get Robux or whatever. That's kind of, it's a currency. It's the currency of Roblox, and that's just, some people like that. So what you do is, instead of offering game passes, offer currency passes. Allow people to purchase currency. It's easier to make a script that will save to their leader stats than a complicated script that will try and, save values and all that kind of stuff. It can be done. It's a little more complicated and tricky. And the thing is, when people are spending money in your game, you want to be able to honor that value. You don't want people to feel like they're getting ripped off. All right, so that was that one. And now that was the box truck. One of the beautiful things that I've done is all these trailer UIs are identical. So I can take this script, I can just copy it, and I can paste it. Now that's one way of doing it. You can have a script in every part. The other way of doing it is you can have one script in the server script service with this in it, and every time they activate the prompt, right? So you can either have this is in the UI or this is in the server script storage, right? And then you just name the prompt the same all the way around and all this kind of stuff. So that's set to 1,000. We probably want to reduce that a little bit. Make it a little bit cheaper for the boss. There's no missions right now for the boss, so maybe we'll make it 500. Right? Now it's easy in the game to get money. You go to these prompts here. Okay, you activate them. what does it give you? $1,000 right there. Bango. Right? The ATM I think gives you 500. $100 from the ATM. I didn't realize that's $1,000. I should reduce that. So there's one bus mission. We'll be adding more. Right. Okay. So that's one way of doing it. Now what we're going to do is we can introduce the pass system. And I have this one of the very first things I ever built in Roblox. Was this keycard system. I thought it was neat. I was going to make a bus game. And yeah, with the bus bar in there, and you could use the key, swipe the key card. Right, so then what we're going to do is, let's just go paste. Where did I paste? I don't know why I paste there. Okay. Now I'm going to use the bus pass only because I happen to have a pass in my inventory that says bus pass. And it's already set up to work. So what we're gonna do is we go to base, and this is your simple keycard door. And the service door, I have this pass. Is bus. Right, so now what we can do is we don't need the stopper or the service. We need the sensor. We don't need the stopper. Don't think we need that, actually. I think we can get away with just this real simple indicator light. Alright, so now what we want to do is take this guy and these two, and we want to go Control G. I want to group them together. This bus. Oh, I guess what bus is about one. Car spawn. Here we go. Okay, so now they're in the same. They're in the same model. It just makes it easier to communicate. So we can go script, right? Dot parent. Dot parent. Dot bus. We can even do one better, actually. We can take this amount. There's two ways we can do this. It can either be free with the card, or it can cost less with the card. So let's make it free with the card. So we don't need, we'll just copy this. Here, we'll copy it down here. That's what we'll do. Then we'll get rid of this abomination because we don't need the data store. We don't need that. Let's see, what else do we not need? Probably this, because we're not need that. I guess it's, let's see how we're going to do this. This one connects to the player. So let's see, we don't need that. We don't need that. See, hit dot parent dot name pass. Oh, okay. Here, so this is what we do. This is how we solve this problem. We'll go insert object, proximity prompt, and then we'll say interact. We'll say pass only ONLY. Right? So yeah, sometimes you have to use a prompt. It's just easier. We'll say it not enabled. Requires line of sight off, because if it's inside an object and it requires line of sight, you won't ever be able to see it. And then we'll say object text. So activate for bus. Let's say activate for bus. Okay. And we will take this here. Let's see. Just wondering how it works. So this needs to go with the proximity prompt. So what this key code will do is it will activate the prompt. All right, so we'll say script parent dot proximity prompt dot enabled equals true. All right, and then inside the proximity prompt we're going to go insert object another script, and that is where we need to have this here. And then we need to say script.parent, just like that. Script.parent.trigger ended. And then it directly connects to the proximity prompt, and it'll give the player, that's right, and then we'll say wait here, we'll say wait, I don't know, maybe 5, and then we'll say script dot parent dot proximity enable false, and then we can change the indicator light back to, it's going to go to lime green. So let's turn it to gold here. All right, turn that to gold. And then that's on the key card, the proximity prompt. And then we have this other attachment here. So what we want to do is, if they swipe the key, we also want to make the other attachment go away. So we'll say script dot parent dot bus parent dot parent dot bus dot attachment dot proximity prompt dot enabled equals false. All right, and then true. Maybe we'll, yeah, we'll just have it on a 2-second timer, and then that way this prompt here hold duration is 0, so you'll punch it and it'll activate it. There we go. I mean, it's not totally secure, but whatever. It's a game, you know. I mean, it's a game. It's just the idea is to coerce people to play properly. Please play by the rules. You know, please play the game. If you make it really hard for people to earn money and play your game, then they're going to manipulate it because they're going to get frustrated that they're not advancing. So we have to be careful of that. All right, so this is our bus pass. And it didn't work. Why? Oh, is it this one here, Young Pass? It didn't work. Why? Do I have another? What's this pass? It's the Young Pass. Let's stop here for a moment. What is going on here? Excuse me, sir, but you are not functioning the way you should. Oh, lowercase pass, not uppercase pass. Duh. Spelling is, that's how it has to be absolute. Absolute. It's really easy to lead yourself astray. All right, let's see. Yes. See, it's quick. And if you go passes only, it says, there's an error. You're dumb. Why you do this? Let's see. Script.parent. What? Script.parent. Bus. Script.parent. Parent. Bus. Script.parent. Bus. All right. It's very important that I was doing it the other way where you work forward from the workspace down, and I find that when you write scripts inside an object, if you write from the script out, then it doesn't matter where you move the object. Doesn't break. So we say passes only. Hey, there we go. Look at that. Passes only, and now the individual mopeds are out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I got to figure that out. But I think it's because it's semi-transparent. It's trying to click behind it. So we'll figure that out. Okay, cool. Right on. Let's explain school. So now we have free vehicles and we have pay vehicles, a way of introducing pay vehicles into the game. And we also have a key. Now we need to have a way for players to obtain the key. And we're going to do that the exact same way that the players spawn vehicles and other things into the game. And the reason why we do that is because we want it's cross-platform with a computer and a touchscreen and a phone. Anywhere you click on the screen, it's mouse button 1. Now, I don't have a console, so I haven't been able to test it. But when I plug in my remote control and I play on Studio, I don't have free movement with the mouse like I do with the computer. So when I'm designing the UIs, you have to hotkey buttons. And unfortunately, that's why you have to go from prompt to a screen to this, to that, to this, to that, because you have to connect the buttons for it so everybody has equal access to gameplay. Otherwise you're creating 3 or 4 different playthroughs, and I don't know, it's not cross-platform, right? Players want to play together, give them the ability to play together and complete quests together. You're gonna have a lot more fun. All right, let's do a time check. 30 minutes. All right, I think we can keep going here. So, haven't saved yet. Hopefully I remember what we were doing. Going back to the start, we introduced Blue City Burgers, and we introduced a very special van. So what I want to do is I want to take this. You know, and I think that a lot of games, there's a lot of good games out there, sure. But I think a lot of games really don't, it's hard to value, like Roblox. They're expensive. So I don't want my game to be dependent on people having to spend Robux. I want people to play the game. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to do the exact same thing that we just did there. Only we're going to combine it here, Control G, group that together, and then we're going to rename this to Burger. Okay. And then what I want to do is this one. Yes. This one here. All right, copy. Paste. What this does, it clones. Showed you. And then what we need to do is we need to make sure that the key card is set up. We're obviously going to change the name of it to Burger. In the end here, we're going to make a special pass. So that'll work for now. So it'll be free with the pass. And then without the pass, I'm going to make this 5,000. It's going to cost 5,000. So in the prompt, it's going to say purchase. Let's just make 5,000, and the action text is going to be Spider-Man, whatever. Okay, so then we have to make sure that we change this one over here too. Bus one. We want to make sure that also spawn for the bus, but the base, we want to make sure pass only, activate for bus. Yeah, I should just say the same thing. Pass only, activate for pass only. Activate for van. All right, so now the only way to get the van, see there's a delivery prompt right here. You can just activate that 5 times and boom, you can spawn the van once. So that's cool, right? But let's make a mission in here that the player has to complete, and their reward for completing the mission will be money, and it's also going to be our pass that we're going to create. We're going to call it Burger. All right, we'll create the pass. We'll upload an image for it. We'll do that right now. Cool. Now, eventually, sure, no, you can make these passes for sale. I don't worry too much about that. Now we need to think about, see, there's no sounds. Now we'll go over eventually too for the game, but now we need to think about what kind of mission do we want that's going to allow, you know, that's going to be worthy enough to give the player the burger, you know, the burger key. It should be like complete 10 deliveries. And then you think, okay, well, they complete 10 deliveries, and then what you would want to do is you would need to create a data store for that value. It would save, right? And every player that goes through it, it saves, and then that way they don't have to complete it. You know, they don't have to complete it at one time. It'll save, and they can complete it over time. But we don't want to do that. Right? Players probably want to do it once. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, so maybe what we'll do is we'll have to do like, let's see here. So we should send them around. Yeah, we'll send them around the cities. Okay, so there's gonna be 5 deliveries. 5 deliveries. Okay, so first thing we need is our delivery prompt. I know there hasn't been a lot of commentary, so you're probably absolutely lost at this point in time. All right, we just got to the whole screen. I'll be absolutely lost at this point in time as to where I'm at. Hasn't been much, right? Added the burger joint. I added a prompt which allows some stuff to do some stuff. And we're actually going to go through all that in this video, or this couple of videos. Okay, so this here is just the screen. Inside the screen, it has the prompt. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to rotate it. Let's see, and it has our mission window, UI, whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm changing the way the missions function in the game because I had to add functionality for everybody. So it's the same thing. Gives you the what we're gonna read burger quest. Okay. Sorry, I'm just drinking coffee. I had a big Slurpee. It's hot out. Okay, so it's got the, let's see, we'll drag this into starter GUI, take a look at it, make it visible. We got it from the DLT, so we have to delete some of these buttons. Like, in all honesty, that's it. That's all I have to do, right? What I did is I got rid of the cancel quest function because that cancels the quest, and I just made it so that way it uses R1 to hide the windows. And every single window that you get in the game uses R1 to hide, so it's just a common hot button for the controller. So when the mission prompt picks up, you can hide the window and complete the mission, and you get the reward. You don't have to worry about it canceling and it's gone away. I suppose that's good. So anyway, so it's just basic for now. What we're gonna do is eventually, I'm going to work on a little bit more of the infrastructure and a little bit more of the functionality, and then we'll go through UIs again for a third or fourth or fifth time, and I'll bring these up to speed, right? What I want to do is I want to make like a logo for the restaurant, add it in here, and just make it get into more of the quality side of it. Right now, we're still engineering the game, so things look a little rough, right? We're not to a point yet where we can really refine the system. So this comes up, quest A. So that's the other thing I need to figure out is DOT was quest A. Where you have to be careful. I don't want quest information to overlap. So we've got DOT quests, which are active, DOT quests, and Yum quests. So it should be ABC. Oh, maybe I didn't change it at all. We shall see. So the way I had it done before, the UI was here, and it was replicated to the player as one big UI. So I had to have a whole bunch of different folders for each quest, with different string values, and it would call it up. But here, because it clones, instead, it just clones it as its own instance. I don't have to do it. I don't think I have to do any of that, which is cool. Okay, so we're working on the UI. Let's open this back up again. That's it. There you go. This is our quest UI. Like I say, eventually I'll put a logo in. So Burger Quest. So what do we want to do? So it picks up Quest A, and it says, where is the rest? Here it is, right here. Okay, rename burger. I'm like looking at it going, wait a minute, where's the actual mission, Margo? Okay, so we'll take Burger Quest, put the screen back into main image, and then, okay, so now we need to do, say, title is going to be Deliver Burgers. Deliver burgers. All right, and then task. Make 5. Let's see. Make 5 stops. Okay, and what we can do is here's where it kind of gets tricky. You just have to activate the finish prompt 5 times in order to get the reward, right? Or whatever this value is. So you can say, right, make 5 deliveries. And now what we need to do is we need to figure out how do we guide the player towards those deliveries. Now, I mean, there's a few ways to do it. We can create an array, which has a graphic attached to it, which shows the player where to go. You know, or we can be a little more old-fashioned, and we can make the player search for the prompt, right? And so, how do we do that? Well, what we do is we create regular delivery missions, and then hidden amongst those regular delivery missions, we'll have maybe an additional area. Yeah, maybe we could do that, which will allow them to... it's either that or... Yeah, maybe we'll just do that. I like the idea of being able to do missions for a key. But at the same time, I'm also, now that I'm like thinking about how much work it's going to be to get players to do that, it's a great idea. But I just don't know if I want to track that. Okay, so basically what I'm getting at is when you finish the DOT quest, when you finish the quest, so that's the next script that we need to look at, the finish side. This is where it syncs. Or not syncs, but right. Finishes the quest. Wait. Order mission. Let's see. Quest files. Bus quest. We're looking at DOT quest. We need to duplicate that. Rename. Burger. Burger quest. Alright, so this is the quest files. The burger quests. Alright, so now we need to make sure that this... I know, I'm kind of jumping a little bit back and forth. I'm really sorry. if you followed along on the really, really long video about how to make a quest, you'll understand what I'm doing here. I'm updating the title of the quest, so it'll give me the reward, because if you don't have the title for the quest, it won't have the reward. And then it just saves. It syncs to your data store, and then it saves. And then we need to change this to the name of the... what's it going to be called here? Burger Quest. Burger Quest. And then the title... do I still have it saved? Should be there. Right, so what it'll do is it'll destroy the mission prompt, so it disconnects you from the mission, and then it gives you the reward. I had a badge. I temporarily disconnected I should put the badge back up there, actually. No, this came from a different... I'm going to make new badges. This came from one of the other badges there. So that way, each quest, when you finish the quest, you get a cool little badge and all that stuff. We'll go over that too. Okay, so we update that, update that. Yeah, and now we need to take this prompt here and we need to copy it. And let's make a delivery. I don't know. Right here. Paste into. Now, what I'll do is I'll go insert objects, attachment. Okay, if you put the proximity prompt inside the attachment, then you can move the attachment around, and you can move that prompt wherever you want it, right? So people can see it. And that's why I was saying this is where, if you have requires line of sight, you won't be able to see it because it's stuck inside the attachment. So you have to say requires line of sight false, set your max activation distance down. All right, change this to deliver burger. And then the object text will say, oops, no. Oh, is that what deliver burger, object text will say, thanks. THANKS, like that, thanks. And then we have this script, which burger quest, deliver burgers. All right, that's good. That's good. So, and then in that very long going over request, what I didn't add was this part, the updating it to the data store when you give the reward. So the reward is what, $5,000 for delivering a burger. Hey, that's pretty good. So you deliver one burger, and then you can spawn the special burger fan. I like that. Right? That's pretty good, tying the missions together. Okay. So let's test it out and see if it works. Now, what we can do, going full circle back to the game pass and how you can hide it in the mission. Because we use a window to bring up the complete mission. No, we don't bring up a window. We close the window to complete mission. So we can have a window hidden in one of those prompts. In one of these delivery prompts. Maybe that's what we'll do. That pops up. And in there, you'll be able to click, and that'll give you the key. I like that. Maybe we'll see. The only thing is that it will save. So yeah, you gotta be careful. Because if you buy it 10 times, it'll save 10 times. You'll have 10 passes all of a sudden. All right, so let's come in. Let's see if we can do this. We should get 5,000 for this. Our mission. I'll have to change that. Oh, okay, whatever. I didn't put it back. Workspace screen. Oh. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. Wait for child DOT mission. Oh, I might actually have to change the prompt. Let's make this window a little bit bigger. Alright, replicated storage. Where are we here? Spawn events. Create a new folder. Insert object folder. We're gonna rename this one to missions, and then we're gonna go insert object, one event, and we're gonna rename this one to burger. All right, I'm gonna say replicate storage dot missions dot burger. Right, so that will connect to there, quest A. So then we also need to make sure script.parent dot attachment dot proximity prompt, and then we need to make sure this is burger quest. Oh, and then we have to make sure this is burger quest. And we have to make sure this is burger quest. Oh, maybe that's why it was giving me problems there. So then we have to go over to, sometimes I'm a visual, sometimes I'm click on there, and we have to change this to burger quest. Otherwise, we won't be able to finish it. All right. Oh, and then I have to make sure that the remote events. So this one here, the burger mission, replicated storage, dot missions dot burger. Okay, I think everything is set up. I hope. Sometimes it's a lot when you got 4 or 5 scripts and you're going back and forth. Kind of get frazzled, like what am I doing? And sometimes I just get lost. Right, especially when I was doing this unlock. Oh boy. You can't collide. Yeah, it was just. And then trying to combine controls for the controller. Oh no, I got stuck. Fail. I know y'all appreciate it. That's why I did it. Yeah, so some of the vehicles, like I say, they might not, when you're using the console, they might not function, like the tractor, for example, the construction loader. When you push the button, the arm goes up, it dumps, and then it comes back down. And that's just because up, down, and the dumping is 4 functions combined into one. All right. going on. Put out some more. There we go. So make 5 stops. But of course, it's just 0 of 1. Deliver burgers. Okay, and I'm gonna get, oh yeah, 5,000 cash. Right on. Okay, so this is our mission. Now we have a delivery mission that we can do. Right. So this is R1 if you're in the console. Okay, so let's go deliver. So in the same way that we get the mission from a prompt, we get that mission window, is the same way that we'll be able to give the player a key or a pass or an item that you want them to have in their inventory, and we can connect that through a data save, basically. I think it's a great way. We did that in Blue Truck. It's a great way of allowing the players to load and save, but now we kind of found a better way. There we go. Okay, so we added a quest now to the burger restaurant. And we've added some keys. Which I suppose we'll update later on. Yeah. So I guess I'll probably do it for this video. The next video will probably just be, we're going to expand on this. So I don't know, let's just kind of recap what we did in this video. A lot of talk about a lot of things. And then we took the screen, which has the wrong prompt name on it. Created delivery missions for our new restaurant. Essentially, the screen, the activated prompt, it clones a UI to the player, and that UI gives you your quest information that it receives from here. That's pretty cool. And now, like I say, now we have a little screen. We can do delivery missions. You could set up another script. Let's say a server script or something, and you can name all these prompts where they are, and you can say every 5 minutes there could be a server broadcast while you're in the restaurant, right? Mission available, or it could just come up on the screen. Maybe we'll do that. You know, every 5 minutes or something, this will come up. A graphic will appear, and it'll pretend to have like some delivery information on it, and then you can take the mission and go. Right? That's ideally that would be the you know, ultimately where we want to take this in the end game, I guess you could say, when everything is complete. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be releasing more at Stormworks as well. There's some updates in that we'll get into. But for now, probably going to be Roblox Studio for the next little bit. We're going to clean up this game a bit more and just keep adding missions. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good day.